It's the Aaron L Show. Please like, comment, subscribe down at the bottom. Hit the notification bell so you could be alerted to all my new videos, and hit the like button to help your boy run this up. This video right here is going to be about Young Dolph, one of my favorite artists out of Memphis, who met his demise in his hometown at one of his favorite small businesses to go to when he's in town, which is a cookie shop. Somebody was following Dolph, and when Dolph went in to get his order that he probably called in for, the guys pulled up and Dolph met his demise. But his brother did come out trying to hold it down. His brother was busting shots, ran to the car, grabbed the Draco. As we see the case in trial now, those guys admitted when they shot Dolph and pulled off, they were shot leaving the scene. And that was young Dolph's little brother holding it down for the team, standing on business. Now, what we gonna do is those two guys that killed Dolph, they got caught for that, and they are in trial right now. But we're gonna talk about how everything led up to Dolph meeting his demise. Dolph is the owner of the record label PRE out of Memphis. There's another big label out of Memphis, CMG Records, owned by Yo Gotti and his brother Big Jook. They always had issues, always went back and forth in different tracks, diss tracks. They would get on YouTube. They really didn't speak on each other's name like that, but when they did, it wasn't positive. You could tell these guys always had a negative energy against each other, and it really came down to CMG Records, big record label, nationwide label, been putting out big songs, platinum songs, wanted to sign Young Dolph when he was on his rise, but Young Dolph already had PRE. He was popping, he was making money, and he was just one of those guys that wanted to be his own boss and didn't want to work under nobody else. And I think CMG was not feeling that. And from that point forward, when Dolph didn't sign with CMG, Dolph and PRE, the record label, always had issues with Yo Gotti, Big Jook, and CMG Records out of Memphis. A couple of attempts on Dolph's life. One was a failed attempt. The second one, Dolph had got hit. But when they talked to Dolph in interviews, Dolph never brought it up, never implicated nobody. You never heard him say Yo Gotti, CMG, Big Jook. Nobody had nothing to do with it. He never even spoke to the police about anything. He kept it all the way a buck. But fast forward, Dolph knew that he had issues with these dudes, and he was moving accordingly, but he was also moving kind of like everything had died down. So word on the street as we fast forward, Big Jook done put money on Dolph, and he want Dolph dead. And I don't know if he got ties to the streets. Everybody say Big Jook is a well-known cat who been pushing the line out there doing his thing. But before Dolph became a big rapper, Dolph also has ties to the streets. And I don't know, did Dolph should have heard about it, given he already got 2 feet on the ground too, just like Big Jook team do. I'm surprised Dolph didn't get the word that it was money out on him. But maybe he didn't, because he was moving correctly. He definitely was moving strapped. When he was at that little cookie shop, he definitely was strapped, and he definitely had little bro ready. He had little bro with him on point. It just, them boys bounced out and they got on so quick. It could happen to anybody. But, fast forward, the boys catch Dolph at the cookie shop. They definitely hit Dolph up. Dolph didn't make it. His brother came out the cookie shop. He did what he had to do, but the boys did it sloppy. They did it sloppy, and they did it in a stolen car. They left the scene of the crime hit. They were going to places after the murder, before the murder, and days after the murder that had camera footage of them. So as the police are doing their investigation and putting their homework together and realizing who are the players in this case, Little by little, they got the evidence. The word on the street was talking. Dolph is a big artist. A lot of people love Dolph out of Memphis, and the streets was talking. And before you know it, the police were pointed in the right direction. On top that they were sniffing it like a bloodhound already. They were already headed towards those guys. I believe a couple of good people that really love Dolph let them really know, like, hey, them two cats right there. After that Dolph situation, I was hearing they had something to do with it. But now them boys playing with a little paper right now. I believe them the boys over there did it. Police kind of like got to watching them boys and seeing how they was moving. And when the police kind of came in with the evidence they already had and probably a little help from the public, they went and grabbed them boys, get them boys in the interrogation room. And they probably came in the interrogation room and I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know what you're talking about. But when the police start taking a little bit of evidence they got and kind of showing you how everything is pointing towards you, somebody cracked. They got in the interrogation room and felt that pressure. And you know what they say, the first one to tell don't go to jail. You know what I mean? So out of the two people they had that was the shooters, they also had two or three other people that was charged with accessory after the fact, meaning after them boys shot Dolph, they went to somebody and got some help, and those people that helped them caught themselves a case too. You got to be very careful when somebody come to you and tell you that they committed a crime, and because you got love for them, you either let them stay in your house and hide, you either help them get rid of some of the evidence, or anything like that, you will be charged with accessory after the fact, and you can definitely do prison time for that. So you have to be very, very careful when somebody commit a crime and then they come to you, expose the fact that they committed the crime. So now you're knowledgeable, and then you help them to try to clean up the evidence so that they won't get caught for it. If they do get caught, you will be charged with accessory after the fact. So let's move past that. These guys are in the interrogation room. Somebody cracks, they get the evidence, and now the whole story starts to unfold. And the story is Big Jook put a hit out on the streets on Dolph for $100,000. I guess whoever heard about the hit, they contacted them two cats. Them boys was ready to do what they got to do. They threw them a little bit of paper up front, locked them in. They say they was with the business, and them boys said, okay, Dolph gonna be in town. Somebody must have the line on Dolph or knew how Dolph moved. It was around the holiday season. They know Dolph comes back to a city around the holiday season and do stuff for the community. That's the sad part, that he was back in town to give out turkeys and do stuff probably for the kids in the community. You never know. Probably have a function at a park, do a couple of his favorite songs that the city love, give a few things out to the kids in the community, and then he gone. He was making sure, and a lot of people say this about Dolph, he made sure once he was in position, he always came back and blessed his hometown, graced them with his presence, and graced them with anything he could do for the city within reason. And if you ever saw footage of Dolph, Dolph would bounce out at a gas station by himself and pump the gas, and it'd be people right there starstruck. They can't believe it's Dolph. He moved around the city as if he was a normal person. Was that smart? I can't say it was. I can't say it wasn't. But he was comfortable enough in his hometown where that's how he moved. So fast forward, these dudes take the hit for the 100,000. They commit the murder. One of the dudes is claiming that they only gave him the little bit of $800 up front once the murder was committed. I guess the guy who set the murder up with Big Jook and them, he got the bag and he wasn't really spreading like he was supposed to. Now, I don't know if they figured they was hot, let it die down, and then we going to go on and take care of y'all, whatever the situation was. The guy who's on the stand telling in court now felt like they was playing with his bread. Now I'm sitting up in here facing a murder, and y'all ain't gave me nothing or done nothing for me. But as the story unfolds, this guy that's telling on the stand, claiming Big Jook is the one who paid for the hit. This is his boy who recruited him to do the hit, sitting there with a $50,000 attorney representing him, saying that nobody looked out for him when you have a paid attorney in here that you didn't pay for. So I'm figuring somebody from Big Jook camp, if Big Jook put the hit out on Dolph. This is allegedly. Somebody from the CMG camp, knew the boy got caught up on that hot one that they had him go take care of, and they made sure he had proper representation if he was gonna keep it all the way a buck, and hopefully he can get from up under that. But what he do, he get up in there, feel the pressure, and he cracked. He on the stand telling everything. Will it help him? Probably not. Y'all caught red-handed. Even if you didn't tell, you probably was gonna get convicted. You railroading your boy, and you putting Big Jook in the mix. So will they come holler at Yo Gotti because this is his brother? Probably not. Gotti name has not came up to this point, but this is just an update from the Young Dolph murder trial. Day is in day 3. A lot of the people that got caught are on the stand telling on each other. This is a messy trial. They're probably all going to get convicted and get life without the possibility of parole, or life with the possibility of parole. But at the end of the day, it's RIP to Young Dolph, one of my favorite rappers out of Memphis. You know, Big Jook met his demise a couple of years later. Everybody say that that was from the Young Dolph hit. Allegedly, we don't know. But, you know, RIP Young Dolph. This the Aaron Ill Show. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe at the bottom. Hit the notification bell so you can know when my new videos is coming out. And hit that like button so I can run it.